Okay, well, why don't you tell us about your character, or as much as you can tell us?
Yeah, as much as I can, huh? Well, Nate is a character that you meet through Charlie while she's on her journey. And, Nate's an expert archer. He's also a pretty bad fighter. But you don't quite know where his allegiance lies. Is he bad? Is he good? And does it lie with the militia or the pretty girl? So we don't know. It's something we're definitely going to find out.
Do you know whether he's good or bad? Have they told you?
I've been told some things. I'm not sure how much of it I can reveal. I think that, I think that he's a good guy. Everyone's trying to survive. Even Giancarlo's character, Captain Neville, he's trying to survive. So even though he's with the militia and it looks like he's bad, he's still doing something. Even mentioning the pilot. He's like trying to find his wife. So everyone has a journey, and Nate has his, and it's kind of like Han Solo in Star Wars. It's like he doesn't want to be with the rebels or the Death Star. It's like he works for the highest bidder. So I kind of see Nate as the same way.
So do you know what Nate did before this happened? Did they tell you?
That's something that I think we're going to find out as the show goes on. There will definitely be that element that J.J. Abrams brings, like with Lost, where we learn about the characters through flashbacks. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what they reveal about Nate.
Would you like to know? Is that something that, ahead of scripts or anything like that? Will you be chatting with the writers and saying, okay, tell me something so I know how to play it?
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm always, trying to get something out of them. And they always tell me the same thing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Which can be frustrating, but also exciting at the same time. I think it really keeps you on your toes. That's the great thing about film is that you get a project and there's a beginning, a middle, and there's an end. But with TV and also with J.J. Abrams, there's that element of surprise, not just for the audience, but also for the actor. And I think that's what keeps it. That's what makes it true. Is that we're all surprised at the same time.
Now, did you have to do special training for this?
I did archery. Yeah. Archery for a couple months. Absolutely love it. Pretty good.
So what is it? I hear that the conditions are pretty rough, especially if you go down in the summertime. Now you're shooting on Monday in North Carolina.
Yeah.
What's that? That has to be
hot, humid.
Yeah, a lot different from the West Coast weather or anything else.
Yeah, no, I remember on the pilot, they had me like in a real thin green shirt, and I told Eric, I was like, well, hold on a second. Why are all the soldiers in like that cool wool soldier outfit? And he's like, oh, trust me. When we get down to Wilmington, you're gonna thank me so much. And he's right. He's right. Now I'm just sort of like, hey guys, how's it out there? Yeah.
Did you have your question?
Well, I was
okay.
I was going to
Oh,
ask.
I see. I'm sorry.
Why do you think this is a show that people will relate to or find or want to be watching?
Because I think it's a universal theme. If you think about it, look at all the shows out there that deal with post-apocalypse. It's the universal theme. What happens? The end of the world. It's vampires, or it's zombies through disease. And it's something that is so universal that we can all relate to. We all wonder what if, what happens if. And this is one of those stories where, okay, it's not zombies, it's not vampires, it's the power's out. So I just think that it's something that is very real. If you've ever been in a part of town where there's a blackout, and you're like, oh man, no TV, you can't, no news. When is it going to turn back on? Then you're just surprised. All of a sudden, just everything, your microwave goes on, the fridge goes on. So I think it's a universal theme, and I think that's what's going to draw a lot of people to it, besides the people behind it, JJ Eric Kripke and Jon Favreau.
So now that you shot the pilot, have you thought about what it takes to survive in a world without power?
Oh yeah, no, we've talked to a lot of training, survivalists, trackers. Yeah, what would you? I mean, think about it. When there's all, when riots happen, you can imagine you want to get out of town. You want to head for the hills. Or you want to, if your friend's a great camper, or you know that he's great with a knife, you're like, hey, you're coming with me. Maybe grabbing a fishing pole or something. So it's you think about all those things. Because it's funny, because as an actor, what am I going to do? Act. Am I going to stand on a soapbox and recite some Shakespeare? Probably not for a while. I don't want to survive. Find my family.
Does working through this show make you feel more confident that you could survive?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm constantly thinking about it. And when you read the new scripts, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I see that. So there are things that you don't even think about because we're so surrounded with technology. We always think like, oh, it can't happen, or it can't happen to my family, or it can't happen to me. And then all of a sudden, boom, it happens. And I think that's where the shock comes in. So yeah, I'm always thinking about it. But you can't get too far off. You got to live somewhere in between. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.